Today's Monday, it's the 19th of May 2025, and I'm at Can Pastilla, not perhaps the usual place that we start. I'm just looking over there towards Palma. That's Puro Beach right in front of us, and that's all open. Normally when I come past here it's closed, but open today, and well, we're well into May now. It's a bit of a hazy grey day, and my weather forecast said it was going to be raining, and in fact it told me it was raining, but I've not seen any rain at all. I did go out to the car and it was covered in a few spots of muddy rain that we must have had, but I didn't actually see it, just saw the effect. This is a lovely walk. You can come here all the way from Palma really, all along the coast, and it's a lovely coastal walk. It's all nice and flat. It does dodge inland here and there, but lots of lovely coast to see. And on a day like today, when it's not too sunny, it's quite a nice walk. There are some threatening clouds out there, so I'm not saying it's perfect. We are very close to the airport, so you might get to hear the noise of the aeroplanes. I just need to drop something in a bin. On that. Aeroplane just taking off there. And I'll carry on with the coastal path. I could have gone down that way, but I'll follow the coast. I do like walking by the sea. I like the sound of the sea. I like to see the waves rippling or crashing against the rocks, whichever they're doing. And the boats on the sea, not too many boats mind today. It's Monday, and I don't know if there's something special about today, but I've just been to Media Markt, which is our local electronics store. I need another hard drive. I back up all of my videos on external hard drives. I've got lots of them, and I fill 2 or 3 of them every year. And so I went to buy another one. I just filled one, and there was a day without VAT, a day without EVA today, so I got 21% off, or whatever the EVA rate is, which I thought was quite good. So I saved myself over €20. Came out of the shop with a smile on my face. This part of Can Pastilla is Cala Estanca. It's a nice circular bay, very enclosed, very, very few boats, if any, in there, and just a few bars just down this side. It's where my friend Bernard used to have a bar. In fact, he used to have one at this end and then moved a bit further down. He's now retired, so no bar, just lots of travelling. I say there's very few boats in here, that's it. So it's all very, very calm in here. Lounges by the sea. Sign saying Aperol. Anita will be looking forward to that when she comes back. She's due back tomorrow evening. I was curious to see what changes had been made down here. So, surf, stay, and Mel's bar. Well, Mel's bar has always been here. Bernard's bar's gone. There's a little beach here. Sandy area. It was all the way round to the port over there. Busy in the bars. Too many on the beach though. More in the bars. The cloudy weather, I suppose. Yesterday was glorious. sunshine and hot, 30 degrees in some parts. So today it's dropped down 4 or 5 degrees, so probably only get up to the mid-20s today. And the threat of rain, but clearing up for tomorrow, so still very up and down. And that's been the story of the weather this year. It's been up and down, and it's been well, more down than up, I think. And I was at home, I was thinking that actually coincides with Real Mallorca. Real Mallorca's football season has been up and down, and a bit down since Christmas. In fact, very down. Went to the match last night against Getafe, who were below us. All the signs before the match would indicate that we'd win, but that wasn't to be. Getafe scored, and you'd have thought they'd have won the lottery. Maybe they did. And then they went and scored again, and Mallorca just never looked like getting it together. And it was really very poor play on their behalf. It didn't seem to be able to get anything moving. It was constantly going back to the goalkeeper, and it just reminded me of the really sad days of when Mallorca ended up getting relegated, not once but twice. They went down to the depths of the third division, I suppose you might want to call it, Segunda B. But when they got down there, they managed to gather their thoughts and gather their footballing skills together, and went up and up, back up to La Liga. So really, it just felt like that yesterday. It felt as though they just lost all direction. And second division, here we come, and on how they played yesterday, it could have been down to the third division as well. But luckily, first half of the season was really quite good for Mallorca, and they amassed a lot of points before Christmas that have put them well and truly mid-table, and actually for a time we were actually near the top. So really hoping that there's a big turnaround next season. They've only got one more match, it's an away match, so we won't be going to see that one live. I'm sure Anita will want to go to the bar to watch it. It is the last Majorca match before the summer break. And now there is no opportunity of going into European football next season. That's completely off the table. And that's probably a good thing. Mallorca just don't have the squad to play in Europe, to play all those extra matches, travelling all that distance and then playing again at the weekend. It would be devastating to their La Liga position, so let's just concentrate on that and consolidate on repairing the team and the morale of the team. There's something feels wrong, and not just the morale of the team but the supporters. At one point yesterday, Afeo was substituted, and he must have said something to the ultras. We didn't take very kindly to it and stormed off. So en masse, the ultras that behind the goal stood up and walked out. And this didn't actually walk out completely. They went up and stood on the terrace that was above the seated area. But really bad feeling. And then they were chanting some not very nice things about Maffeo, and supporters on our side were shouting back at the ultras. So you've got fans shouting at fans, and that should never be. So not sure what to expect next week, but got to be a big turn around for next season, and the next season starts in the middle of August. I just find that crazy in Spain. We had water breaks yesterday, which was a bit surprising because it was not warm at all, but there was a water break in the first half and another one in the second half. Nobody really could understand why. Anyway, they normally do it when it's really hot weather, so August they'll probably have a break every 15 minutes or so because it's just so incredibly hot. And Mallorca's matches usually start quite late at night as well, so expect a football match to be starting at 10 o'clock. You just don't often get out of the stadium before midnight, which was not very nice when you've got to go to work the next day. Not so bad for us now, but I'd rather not do that. A lot of football talk. Anita is on her way back tomorrow. She's had a lovely time. She's absolutely full of it when I chat to her. So she first went to Serena down there in Somerset, had a few days there. And she went to London and they met Lara and they went to see a show, had dinner, and did some touristy type things in London, which Anita's full of. Really enjoyed that. And then she got the train back with Lara, and so that's where she is at the moment. And then comes back to Mallorca tomorrow from Bournemouth. And that involves taxis and trains and things to get to the airport in Bournemouth. But she's got plenty of time. We've booked trains so that she's got plenty of time to do that. So it should be a fairly comfortable trip, and then she gets in tomorrow evening. There was a little bit of a breeze back there. There's nothing much of a breeze here now, and it's making it feel quite warm, maybe even a little muggy. I'm out this side because I'm on picking up the girls' duty. Anita's not here. I'm on my own today, off to Majorca to pick them up from school. They finish at school 2 o'clock. That's the time they come out. It's the school day for the youngsters. Just looking at that board across the road, it is huge. I think even I could stand up on one of those. Somebody there with a suitcase on the beach. Yesterday at the hotel, she had to check out of the hotel obviously, and she wanted to go for a walk around, so she just left her suitcases in the hotel, which is what we normally do. Well, one of the stories of the winter, of course, has been the seaweed that gets washed up on the beach. Mountains of it, and there they are. Mountains of seaweed, which are now, on the 19th of May, being cleared. Now what they tend to do with that is go and find a place to tip it, an area to tip it. They allow it to wash, let it rain, to get rid of most of the salt, and then it can be used as a fertilizer. Rich in various minerals that come from the sea. In iodine for one. The beach here is obviously being cleaned. They've been over it with a machine. Still some poles without the brollies on, without the parasols on. This is where I usually start, because we usually park just up the road, but decided to park in a different place today. Got to keep my eye on my watch just to make sure I've got time to get back to the car and then off to pick the girls up. I don't want to leave it too late. I think last time we came down here, we were with Angela. May have been. I got a chance to see my video from yesterday. The one from, it was on the motorbikes, and absolutely amazing, I thought. Distinguished Gentleman's Ride, it was called. And I've since had messages from people in different parts of the UK, and in Poole and Dorset, and then in, what was the other one? I can't remember. And they were telling me that they'd had similar events on a much bigger scale in the UK, so a lot more people can take part. Here we're limited to the size of the island. So we had about 300 motorcycles, and in the events that were mentioned to me, they had something like 1,000. And all to raise money for charity and raise awareness for men's health, prostate cancer in particular. And I don't know if it's, well, it is a coincidence that it coincided with the announcement that former President Biden has been announced to have quite an aggressive form of prostate cancer, which hopefully will be treatable. Well, there's a green flag out there, so it's nice and calm on the sea. Not too much breeze, not many boats out, no windsurfers, because there's not really any wind. There's such a gentle breeze, you might call it. Excuse me. Oh, here's the train. I'm actually going to make my way back now. I like to leave myself plenty of time to go and get the girls. So it's coming up to 1 o'clock. I've got to get back to the car and then drive to the yacht. These big concrete pillars that you can see, I think will eventually disappear. They've started to disappear at the other end, the R&L side. These concrete pillars will go and they'll be put in with some more modern lighting. They really are a bit of an eyesore. I suppose it was a cheap way of creating them in those days. Anyway, that won't happen immediately. That will be some time, probably next winter. Bit of a breeze now. Cycling is very popular on this side of the island. Lots of bikes, lots of places to hire the bikes, and of course it's so flat, it's very convenient to ride the bikes. It looks as though they've got a guided tour. Follow the leader. Chinese cocktail bars. Not all, but most of the bikes are electric these days. Means they've got a little bit of assistance. And the truck and the digger still loading up. And usually when we come, I park up the road on the right there. I wanted to park close to Calastanca just to have a look around, see what that changes, what's happened around there. And I'll go back walking through the shoppy area of Can Pastilla. It's not a big shopping area, but they've got a few shops. They do have a market as well. I need to look that one up. €5 for a towel.
Tiene solo una oreja y le engancha todo.
Pretty safe bet if you want to go and get some provisions. Eroski's a pretty safe bet for a supermarket to go to. Not usually one of the big shops, but sort of a medium-sized supermarket, as opposed to the big hypermarkets like Carrefour and Alcampo. Over for a second, just really to show you where the market is when it's market day. It's the Hotel Baleares, and right opposite the Hotel Baleares is the square, and the church at the end there, and this is where we've seen the market in the past, just around this square. You can see it's not a very big area, so it's not a very big market, but they're always interesting to see what they've got. Someone was asking me about the market in Magaluf. Well, traditionally, Magaluf hasn't had a market, and Calvia decided that they wanted to have somewhere within the area of Calvia a market every day. And Palmanova didn't have one, and Magaluf didn't have one, so they assigned days to them. Palmanova is Sunday, and Magaluf is Thursday. And I went along to the first one, and yeah, there was a little market there with a few stalls in a car park. And then we went again on another occasion. There was nothing in the car park at all. The market was not there. And then as we walked down towards the sea, we found 2 or 3 stalls, and that's what it's diminished to, I think, 2 or 3 stalls. So I'll go down again. Maybe they'll have a few more stalls now that the season started. I'm going to walk back down towards the sea now. You see, Can Pastilla is place where the locals live. So it is residential. So it's more or less open all year round. A lot of the places are, not all of them, of course. Tourist places are closed during the summer. But there's shops and things, and so it's a community. Tapas and cocktails. Some places have been closed for years down here, I think. And the pavements are just as bad as they are in many places. Big place there closed up. A bit of a new build going on here in between other buildings. That's what needs to happen, I think, to a lot of places. Watson's Bar. They're places to explore, aren't they? These back streets. It's you never know what you're going to see, what you're going to find. Another newish sort of block with one for sale. Coming out now near to the yacht club. This is one of the bars Anita and I sometimes call in. Sit outside, sometimes sit inside actually as well. Cocktails here. I was trying to remember what Bernard's bar was named, and this has just reminded me because it was called the Tavern. This is Taberna. There's the yacht club in front. A lovely Christmas party there one year, really nice.
Tak, łatwo.
Some grey clouds. There's going to be raining somewhere on the island, even if it's not raining here. Almost so certain in the mountains. Buddha Cafe. And the flag there, the green flag. There's no breeze even to make it move, so that's just how calm and quiet it is today. As I'm doing these walks, I'm trying to take lots of photographs, but there's not been very much to take photographs of, so I don't think you're going to see many at the end of this video. EasyJet plane just going up into the sky over there. We're picking the girls up at 2 o'clock and then we go for lunch. It's quite nice and civilised, and they love a papito de lomo in the bar in the village. All these empty locales along here, right on the front. Unbelievable. A bit of a blot on the landscape, I guess. All the graffiti. And it's the council that need to make the owners rent them out, tidy them up, or do something. So this is one place I've just driven past here. And now I see the name on it. This is Controcorrente. This is exactly the same as the one in Palmanova next to the beehive. And as I was driving past, I was thinking, it looks a bit upmarket for the area. And indeed it is. Well, the one in Palmanova is nice. This one, I think, is even nicer. I haven't been in yet. Just driving past. This is one of the areas where they've got these cobblestones and it does slow the traffic down, I think, but it's very noisy. Cars going over it. And we are pretty much back to where we started. Almost the lone boat out there, and that's like the local Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, I think. Maybe I can get a photo of that. Well, thank you very much for joining me on this walk. Hope you've enjoyed it. Nice to get out, get some fresh air, get a little bit of exercise. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.